Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another session of Home Sweet Kersh. This is episode 9, and of course, it's not capturing my desktop because OBS hates me. Desktop capture. There we go. No, there we go. Haha! Magically working! Is that the other one? It's right there. Okay. Welcome back, everybody. We have some players starting at the top of the Discord. If you guys could give me your name and your character.
I'm Holocall, playing a human fighter, also called Holocall.
I'm Interted. I'm playing a human rogue called Horgold Wolfswift.
I am Satet, and I am playing a cleric named Satet.
My name is Sir. I'm playing Kobold Ranger called Gruntle. Gruntos greets you all.
All right, and who would like to? No, you don't see that. Who would like to give us a summary of what happened last session?
Not all at once.
We started by returning to, continuing the conversation. Borghild, a name which I approve because it's very Norwegian. She had us go into a secured phase circle. Where she wanted to gain passage through the Feywild. And the group went in, tried to get passage, got sent on an errand of sorts to get a piece of very magical iron out of the general area, so the Fae wouldn't be as frightened. Something, not quite sure about that interaction, but the group went out in search of said iron thing, and got waylaid by the people that were supposed to show the group the way. The Naga that we had been led by was very interested in getting what we learned to be a spearhead. She wanted to keep that for herself. She failed. Died. Along with her 2 satyrs.
This not a Naga, a Gorgon.
And Horgold got turned to stone in that battle, but Granthos and the rest managed to get him back by making a sled and pulling him. And when we got back to Orklon, Borgil was quite surprised that we had only been gone 10 minutes. But I'm guessing we were gone more like 12 hours in the Feywild.
At least a day.
Yeah. Time is all wibbly wobbly and such. And yeah, we split up trying to get Horrible back from being a stone thing, and succeeding was where it cut off the last game, I think.
Yep.
Grunso stole the iron bar and cashed it in.
You could believe that if you wish. All right.
Gruntos got told to take the iron bar. Nobody took it from him again.
All right. It is the day after you guys restored Mr. Horgold to his fully mobile state. Horgold, as you arrive back at your house, I believe you were granted a house in this town by certain factions. We'll leave this out in the open. I'll trust you guys not to metagame it, just so you guys can all hear it. Horgold, as you arrive back at your house, still shaking the stone dust out of your clothing, you notice that your front door is locked, but you have certain ways of telling, if somebody's entered it or not. This is GM making assumptions about your character, but you have certain ways of telling whether or not somebody else has passed through your door, and you notice that that your door is locked, but there's somebody who has either entered your house and is still there, or has entered your house and left.
I want to see if they left or still inside then. So maybe sneaking into a window or something like that.
Go ahead and give me a sneak roll.
Stealth?
Stealth, yep. All right. You sneak in through a window, and as you explore your house, you notice that there's somebody in your kitchen, quietly reading a broadsheet, basically a newspaper, sitting at your kitchen table. Seems completely unconcerned. And you recognize this person. This is your contact from Magda, one Simon.
Then I will approach him.
Ah, Horgold, good to see you. What news have you?
Not much yet. I just recovering from a heavy battle.
Oh, heavy battle. Where were you fighting? We saw you guys. We saw you going through town. Was it yesterday? With the head of a troll.
Yeah, just getting some money.
Ah. Fair. So you do remember that Magda would like to know what goes on in this town.
Yes.
And do you have any news?
Well, I'm investigating in something, and not really having any news at this point.
Very well. Please keep me informed. He tosses you a ring, and if he says, if you ever need to contact me, press the stone on the top, and we may talk. And he heads out into the, call it morning, sun, crunching on a cruller, and you see a plate of them sitting at your table, and he has left the broadsheet in your house.
Is there anything interesting in the newspaper?
The newspaper has headlines, tensions ease after tensions ease after ambassador accepted back into town. You see that the broadsheet is from Kersh. Has various news stories throughout it. Basically, there's no longer an army, or the army that was starting to gather from Kartuk is leaving, and the army that the city of Kersh was building is disbanding, returning back to their normal duties of, being mercenaries and guards. Various other pieces of information. See that food prices are becoming more even now that there's no longer the threat of thingy where they blockade the town. That'll work. Blockade the town. There's some fluff pieces. New play opening in a couple weeks.
Yeah, okay. Cool. I think I will gather up with the rest of the troops and take the paper with me.
All right. Hollock. Similar thing. As you wake up in the morning, after having slept, you notice that there is someone in your house. How do you want to approach?
How do I notice the presence?
There's banging and it sounds everything in the world like they're making breakfast.
And I'm in another room,
Yeah.
I guess. Okay, I grab my spear and storm into the kitchen with my nightgown still on.
So you see a small female elf, and she has every pan in your kitchen on top of the stove. Some of them stacked on top of each other. There's currently water boiling over its pot. You're not sure what's in that. There are eggs and bacon frying, and it smells lovely, but you're thinking it's getting close to burning, and if it's not taking off the heat fairly soon. And she kind of jumps as you come in and says, "Oh, Hollock, okay, he about gave me a heart attack. Good morning."
Good morning. What the heck? Who are you? What are you doing in my kitchen?
I'm Lupe. She extends a hand out to you. Her hand is covered with flour and egg, and you're not exactly sure what all, but it's just completely covered almost up to the elbow. Yep, that is correct. And she says, what's new? She kind of gives you the hand motion that you were shown by Natasha to tell you of her agents.
I relax when after seeing that. Grab a chair and sit down.
She says, "Oh no, the bacon!" And she whips around quick and manages to save the bacon from being burned by like inches, you're thinking. And she slops out some bacon and scrambled eggs on a plate that she puts in front of you, and then sits down across. And you don't know what's boiling, but it's definitely boiling.
Oh, I start eating silently.
So it's been a while since you've checked in. Natasha's, or she wouldn't say that. So we're really wondering, what's been going on? What's new?
Not much. Made some bad investments. Hunted some trolls. The usual.
That's too bad. She says, "Well, if you need help, making better investments, just let us know and we'll help you. I'll be back in a couple days. Breakfast time work for you?"
Sure. But I think at the moment we have a good deal running. Making money
good.
with the next job.
Good.
But nothing.
You'll have to let me know what your job is. Maybe I can help out too.
Oh, some person wants passage into the north through some strange means, but it's not in stone right now. We're still working on that.
Well, it's good to hear. Passage to the north. Interesting. Well, have a wonderful breakfast. Make sure the muffins get out of the oven in exactly. She kind of looks at her wrist. There's nothing on her wrist. 3 more minutes. They should be done. Anyway, have a good morning. And she heads out through the front door. You notice that there's fresh orange juice on the table. There's, more eggs and bacon than you could ever eat in a single meal. And the pan that is boiling on the back burner has basically put the fire out to the point where it's no longer boiling.
I think I turn off everything she turned on.
And the muffins are completely cooked. They come out lovely. They are lemon poppy seed. There's like 8 of those, like the muffins that are an entire meal all by themselves. All right. Grunthos, where are you this morning?
Waking up at the Snorting Boar Inn as I usually do when I'm in Auckland.
All right. You smell the smell of cooking bacon downstairs. This is a fairly common breakfast. Common breakfast here. You also smell roast mutton. That you think is probably their midday meal that they're starting up. Other than that, your waking is calm and unobstructed. What are you doing this morning?
Trundling down about as heavy as a 2-foot 2-inch kobold can down the stairs. And sitting down at the table, just breakfast. Hey, hungry.
You hungry? You're not big enough to be hungry. The orc behind the counter slams a plate, kind of one of those, not tin, but just the pot metal, probably actually made out of copper or some sort of bronze, perhaps. Plate out onto the counter, and thunks a couple of strips of bacon into it, and plops your, however you prefer, your egg on it, and a couple slices of freshly toasted toast.
Slap the payment on the counter, grab the plate to sit down, and ferociously starts eating.
All right. You are eating your breakfast. Satet, what is the where does the morning find you?
Snoring at the temple.
Sleeping in?
Of course.
About fairly not real early morning, but well after the sun comes up. You are awoken by these sounds of like sweeping and morning prayers and just the general sounds of the temple. It's very comforting, very homey sounds. This is what you would expect to hear pretty much wherever whatever temple or place that you of Raya's that you would lay your head. And about the time you wake up, you find breakfast itself has been served a while ago. There is still porridge, probably an oat porridge, just gently simmering on the stove, and there is fresh coffee has been brewed.
There better be honey or something put in the porridge, or I'm dumping it.
There's honey and cinnamon available. The cinnamon, you're not exactly sure when it showed up, but it's not something that you're super familiar with.
I guess I'm going to take a big huff of cinnamon since I don't know what it is. See what it is.
Give me a Constitution save, please. Fortitude save. Don't
Sorry,
get a 0.
Fortitude is Constitution, right?
Yes, Fortitude is Constitution. Well, you didn't get a 5 or less. So you take a big sniff in, and your eyes kind of water a little bit, but you manage to prevent yourself from sneezing. It is, bright and spicy and kind of acrid and citrusy and just a lovely, lovely smell. I mean, it smells like cinnamon.
How big is the container of it?
It is about probably an inch tall, or about 3 inches tall, and probably about a half inch around, and it's almost completely full of a ground powder. Probably 3 or 4 ounces.
Sorry, I was checking my inventory to see if there's any way I could take some with me, but I don't. So I guess I'll have some honey with some oats, and then see if I can wander out and find Horgold. I assume I know where his house is at this point. Maybe not.
Yep.
But just see if he's okay, since it was just yesterday he was still.
Yeah. You eat your breakfast and put the bowl down to be cleaned and head out. A couple of the very young acolytes kind of give you that look that only teenagers can give to an adult. They're like, well, why do we got to do this? And look at what he's doing. But teenagers being teenagers, as they sweep the floor of the temple, getting it ready for morning prayers and services.
I try to be cool and like high five and do a nifty handshake. I'm assuming they're just staring at me.
They're just giving you a look. You are definitely not as cool as they are.
I'm gonna swagger away and believe I was.
All right, you head off. Yep, you know where Horgold lives. It's probably a 10 or 15 minute walk, so not too bad.
Oh, I should just remind. I don't know if you remember. I actually still have both spearheads.
You have a spear and a spearhead. Yes, you do. I'm assuming you have them on your person.
Yeah, I would never let them away.
just making sure.
When I get to Horgold's house, assuming when I get there, I'm just gonna walk in as though I know I'm welcome, even though I may not be, and just yell out.
Yeah, the moment you want to open the door just opens for you, and I'm heading out.
How you feeling?
Dusty.
I'm just gonna blow on him a little bit, see if it's true.
Yeah, so there's just kind of stone dust that just seems to be clinging to him.
Have you considered your monthly bath?
But then we have to go to the bathhouse.
Where are you heading?
To the pub, I think. To the snoring boar to meet up with the rest.
Sweet. I spent all my brass getting you turned back into a human, so you're buying.
Oh, I paid them as well.
It's suspicious. He never told me that.
Why is it suspicious?
I don't remember the name that I gave to your contact, Horgold. Do you remember?
Simon.
Ah, Simon. Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Continue. Sorry.
I'm just gonna chatter randomly with people as I walk next to Horgold on the way.
Yeah, and I think we meet up at the pub, I think.
Yep. Hulk finds you on your way, unless he tells me otherwise.
Pack the muffins, and I think I need to get new arrows on the way to the inn.
Arrows are cheap and plentiful. Well, normal priced and plentiful. You can easily pick those up along your way to the inn. So you guys all meet up at the Snorting Boar about the time that Grunthos is finishing up his breakfast. Grunthos, what sort of drink would you drink in the morning?
Do you need to ask?
I'm thinking beer, but I'm just making sure.
There's a tankard the size of Grunthos' head sitting on the table, which is almost dunking his head in and drinking from.
So yeah, this is like an oat beer. It's been watered down some because it's breakfast time, but you expect that for this place at this point. It's not.
Yeah.
It's there to give you a nice full belly feeling, not to get you drunk.
Oh yeah, I know.
Right. You guys are all at the inn.
I offer the others the muffins.
Nice. I
What is this?
show them the newspaper.
Where is Kersh? What Kersh?
I didn't understand a word of that.
Where is Kersh? What is Kersh? What is this?
Oh, it can read.
Yes, Grunthos reads.
It's a place we're all from, and this is what's happening there. So I would show it to the rest of my friends.
Okay. Hang on. Grunthos scampers off to the room, grabs 4 bags of mixed coinage and the 4 paper notes he got the day before, and goes back down to the table. Gadunk! On the table. shoves one bag towards each person and one paper piece per person.
You guys see that each paper piece is a embossed letter from the Shining Tooth, I believe it was called.
Shining Fang. I believe.
Shining Fang. Yep. It's written out in Orcish. Those of you who recognize Orcish recognize it as basically a promissory note saying, "I will agree to pay this upon presentation after X date." The date's about, call it the 21st of Citrine.
And each bag contains 625 brass worth of mixed coinage and some gems.
625?
Yep. And the piece of paper is good for another 600 at this Shining Fang.
For those of you who are familiar with these things, you know you could get 600 for it at the Shining Fang after the date. You could probably also get a few hundred for it somewhere else at a different money changers in town. Probably, 550, 575, pretty much any time between now and then. So if you need money today, you could do that. If you need money the 21st of Citrine, Hollock.
Yeah, it's after that date that we can collect it.
Yep, after that date. Okay.
So this was the silver bar, I guess?
Iron.
Yes, iron bar.
Oh, iron, yeah.
Well, Grantos need money.
So the orc in the back of the room said, "Oh, Grantos pay tab then."
He's been paying his tab all along.
I know
Grantos has been paying. Grantos has no tab.
I'm fine.
Here, take tip. Flip him in copper.
he grabs the copper, looks at it, and then grunts in amusement and puts it underneath the bar. Gruntos one tab, very low interest rates.
No.
Fine. And goes back
Maybe
to...
Grantos find other tavern.
No other tavern give Gruntos full beers.
Jingle my bag. You sure?
He goes back to like basting the mutton roast and like preparing for, people to come in for their lunch and their afternoon drinking. Those of them that decide to drink in the afternoon away.
I told Grontos it's probably not best to show how wealthy you are in some area.
Grantos knows. Barkeep, funny man.
The barkeep snorts.
So you guys did got the item that we're looking for from the Feywild, right?
Yes, the half-elf got spearhead.
Yeah,
So,
I've got it in my back right.
sweet. So we need to discuss if we going to continue on this quest and give it to the people in the Feywild, or do something else with it.
So, does anyone really understand what Borgild wants? Because I'm a little untrustworthy to hand this over, considering we were betrayed, not by her, but basically handing it for her to have access to someone who obviously can't be.
Well, we couldn't trust his helps. That doesn't mean we cannot trust him. And we still have the mission to grant safe passage.
Did not Borghild say she might want spearhead instead of passage?
Did you guys let Borghild know about the spearhead? I don't remember that.
No, I ran out. She knows that we have something, but she doesn't know what. I left before she could figure it out.
Okay, good. That's good to know. I need to. These things are things that I need to know.
And what do you know?
I just feel like this.
Go ahead.
I just feel like the spearhead is a little more powerful than we want to just hand someone that we don't know what they're going to do.
What do you mean, but a little bit more powerful?
Well, we'll just say that after doing detect magic and talking with some people at the temple and some research that I'm pretty sure I already know, this is a very powerful artifact, and I don't know that we want to give it to someone that could use it for evil.
So maybe we want to use it for ourselves then?
Either keep it ourselves and keep it safe, or give it to someone who we know will. I don't believe that giving it over to someone that potentially is evil is a good idea.
But what would we do with Borhild then?
Do we have anything else we could offer her?
Do you want safe passage? Faye wants spearhead. Not sure.
Well, we could grant her safe passage.
You mean like be her bodyguards as she passes through? Do we know if she's wanting to go through more than once, like just cross, or is this like a continual?
You were under the impression that getting from here to there was the limit of the deal that was wanted.
Are we sure that we can protect her? Because as the Fey creature looked fairly powerful with lots of minions, even if we didn't see them.
Ooh. Nice.
First roll of the day.
I think your dice are blessed, perhaps? I don't know how this works. All right. For those of you getting over 15, you know that the Fae run on basically deals. And there's two ways out of an agreement you've made with them. Basically, you make an agreement with somebody more powerful than they are, or you make a deal that they think is better than the one that. So, if you want to make a deal with the Fae and you've already agreed to something, you basically have to give them something more. If you don't want to continue with that agreement, or you have to make a deal with somebody who is more powerful than they are, to basically and to override the deal with the person you made.
Can we give him Hol a call since he already ate their apple?
There is also that.
I don't think I'm worth a magic spearhead.
Do we know anything that they might be interested in that's more benefitable for them? To keep the spearhead, but still get a deal?
Something like service, so basically becoming their vassal for a length of time, is among the most valuable things that you can do for them. Doing something like making a pact with them, think along the lines of a class. They get the spell thingy. Warlock. Thank you. Basically becoming a warlock in their service. Basically making that sort of deal with them. Yeah, something like service or some treasure of higher value. So like a more powerful magical item or treasure exceeding the value of the thing that you want to keep.
So the bar of iron we just sold would be more valuable because it's unforged magic and could be anything?
No, probably not, because it's about a half a pound of iron. The spearhead itself is about 2 pounds of iron.
Okay.
So you would have a very hard argument to make to say that. I mean, if you're silver-tongued, maybe you might be able to make some sort of argument along those lines, but probably not.
Yeah, I have not a good feeling about this. So what do we do, Tim?
They want spearhead, or maybe we have to find something better, or we work for them, or lot of bad things.
Well, the problem is we can discuss a couple of things with Borhild about this, but we cannot reveal the spearhead.
Do we trust Borgild?
Why trust Borgild?
I trust nobody, but I trust money.
We don't know her. She's just some employer.
I'm gonna go give the spear to a safe house. I assume the temple has a way, like a vault or something.
Yeah.
Gosh, I would hope so. I'm gonna go give the spear to them for protection for now. Hopefully no one is dumb enough to steal from the Temple of Raya. And then we can go talk to Borgild.
Sound like plan.
Okay. Sata, you take the spear, find the purser, the treasure of the temple, explain, he's like, so how can I help you? Also, is anybody going with Satet?
I go home to hide the gold as a brass.
I go with Sedat.
Is there a messenger service? Like someone that I could send something towards the village?
Yes. There are people in town who do run messages like that. Yep, for probably a bronze or 2, depending on how far you're going. Probably that distance, probably about 2 bronze.
I will. Gruntos will get an envelope, put the writ of 600, and get a small pouch able to hold about 100 brass, and send off to the village.
Okay. The guy, probably adult, half orc, probably 35, 40, goes, sure, I think I know where that's at. That's at. Anything else you want me to tell them when I deliver it?
Gruntos might not be back for a while.
Very well, thank you, sir. He tips his he doesn't actually have a hat on, but he pulls his forelock and heads off up the river to head towards your village. All right. Sautet and Horgold. You guys arrive at the Temple of Raya, and meet with the purser. As I said, he's like, "What can I do for you?"
We have an artifact here, and we must do everything we can. We have an object that we must do everything I can to keep it secret and keep it safe. Is there some place that we can keep it that you won't tell anyone about, and you will not give it back to anyone except for me when I come in person?
Yes, I can absolutely do that. He looks at you expectantly with his so what is it?
I hand him Horgold. No. I will dig the spearhead and have it wrapped in one of my shirts.
Sure.
And hand it over.
He's like, I will keep it safe. It will be in the vault. I won't let anybody else know it's here. Thank you for entrusting it to our care. The blessings of Raya be upon you. He turns around and heads back into the back room. You have never been through the door he just went through. In fact, you don't think anybody goes through that door except for him.
Can I see anything or peek?
When you peek as he goes through the door, this looks like an office basically. But papers and cabinets and stuff piled. Not a very clean office. Which is a little strange considering his desk is out here in front of the door.
No better way to lose something and keep it hid than give it to a hoarder. I will just trust that he's going to hide it under a stack of newspapers and pizza boxes, and I will move on.
Sedat, what's your interest about that room? You're looking into it what's behind it, that door?
I'm very curious about how secure it actually is. Hopefully that leads to another room to the vault or something much more secure than just a person guarding a window.
You never been in that room?
Nope. Unfortunately, I don't have free reign of the temple.
Well, I can make it a little bit more noticeable if somebody enters that room that we don't want to, if you want me to do that.
If you can do it discreetly, I don't want to do anything that's going to betray the temple or betray the trust of its acolytes.
It's not going to be discreet. So that's a no.
I'm gonna have to go with no. Sorry.
Okay. I trust in your temple then. They restored me to health, so.
All right. Hulk, you have hidden wherever you hide your money. You have hidden it away in your house. As you are walking down the street back toward the others, you see a couple of what look like guardsmen, standing on the side of the road, across the street from you, and dripping into. Well, you were a guard, so you would know. Dripping into the gutter nearby is just a gentle stream of blood. You can't really see from where you're at where it's coming from. The two guards are like heads together, chatting to each other.
Do I know the guards? Probably not, but...
Probably not. You recognize them as guards. You've probably seen them around this part of town before.
I walk up to them and ask, good morning, any troubles here in this area? I just recently moved here.
You're human? Yes, you're human.
Yes, you're human. But I can talk Orcish.
They respond to you in Orcish, please move along, Paleskin. This is none of your concern. On the ground there is a probably teenage female orc, well, maybe a little older than teenage, maybe young 20s, female orc. Her head is missing, and she is leaking. She is leaking blood from the stump where her head was.
Is it a clean cut or bitten off, ripped off? Can I see it?
Give me an investigate. They're trying to push you away from the scene, so I want to see how much you get before they get you clear. 16 for investigate. That's good enough. So the head appears to have been ripped off. With that roll, you see that it's just a little ways away down the alley. As far as you can tell, like you can see as you're being pushed away, you can see like the impression of somebody's hand in the neck, basically at the collarbone. And it looks like their fingers sunk into it there, and basically ripped the head, grabbed the jaw, and ripped the head off, and threw it into the alleyway behind. And so you see 3 finger holes in the neck at the collar, and then you see 3 finger holes in the skin under the jaw, and it has been bodily ripped from the body. Judging by the amount of blood and basically there's no flies yet. There's probably been maybe an hour or two. It had to have happened basically between the time you walked down to the between when you walked down to the inn and when you walked back to your house. You just didn't notice it when you arrived at your house. You didn't hear a scream or anything.
Curious. I think I will meet up with the others.
I also need a constitution from you.
Save or normal roll?
Save. Fortitude save is what it is.
Constitution and 5e.
Yep. So that would be another failure. You're at, what, 3 failures now? I think you had 3 failures, 2 successes.
Yes.
All right. I would like you to note on your sheet, you have failed your save for troll fever, and that may become important later. You're feeling not great by the time you get back to the snorting boar, like kind of. You know that sick that when you're not sick yet, but you just kind of feel not great. That sort of feeling. Right. Everybody's meeting back up at the snorting boar, or are you guys meeting up somewhere else?
I thought we were all at the temple.
Just you and Horgold went there.
Oh, I went there too after the house.
Okay, so yes, then you can all meet up at the temple. That's fine.
Gruntos would just take a side route to get the money sent and then catch back up.
Okay.
When we meet up, I tell the others of the strange female orc death.
Grunthos, would you like to lead the way to Borgild's?
Gruntos not know where Borgil live.
You're pretty sure she lives in the cave.
We were just there, I thought, buddy.
Just snorts and just trundles off.
Is he going the right way, guys?
I'm not sure where he's going. But we need to cross the river and then go north.
Which is where Gruntos is heading.
All right, I'm following Grunthos. I'm going to start telling a story to everyone about how cool all the younger guys at the temple think
That would be a deception roll, please.
I didn't see that last time we visited.
But what if I really believe it? Is it still deception?
No, it's not. If you really believe it, then everybody else gets a... What would it be?
Insight?
There you go. Insight. To see if you believe that they believe that, or if it's just something that Satet believes.
Yeah, Grunthos, you're with me.
Horgold, you're not sure. Hulk, you're like, no, he's not as cool as he once was. All right. After a short walk, you guys get back to the cave system. And, a nice cool breeze is blowing out of the caves. The trickle of water is running down just like it was before. It's quiet. Nobody else is in this part of the area. In the distance, you can hear the roar of the waterfall.
Grantos just keeps walking towards the cave.
By default, when we're walking outside cities and stuff like that, I got my birdie out just to scout around a little bit.
Yep. Your birdie doesn't notice anything out of the ordinary. Has fun playing in the wake of the waterfall for a little bit, and then flies back to you as you get into the cave. It's again pitch dark. Those of you who want to, produce light sources can do so. Otherwise, it's very, very dark in here. And as you work your way through the cave, in the very back, you recognize the Fey ring, where you left it, and Borghild is coming out of a little side passage when you come back. It says, you return.
Yeah, in flesh this time.
Your appearance was a bit stony last I saw.
So we got a little problem.
A little problem? That's why I hired you, is to solve problems for me. What is your problem?
We don't trust the people we made a deal with for you to grant you safe passage.
That is probably wise. The Fae love to hold to the letter of their deals, as opposed to the spirit of them.
So we need to find a way to adjust that deal, because the deal that they offer at this point is off.
Well, that is good to hear. I guess I shall leave it up to you to figure out what a better deal for you would be. I do not believe they would want anything I could pay them. Other than, well, I can pay them many things, but... What were they wanting that you cannot give?
Something that won't do good in their hands.
Fair. Give me an intelligence roll if you want to try to remember that. Or if you as a person just remember it, go ahead and give me a intelligence roll.
Remember what? Oh,
the exact wording.
to set that, yeah.
Let's go roll by -1 intelligence. Nope.
Granthos, they wanted flowers. You're pretty sure that's wrong, but you're like, man, did they want flowers? All right.
Flower?
Satet, Halak, definitely good enough. It's only been a day.
It was open, I think. Just really simple.
Yeah, it was travel
In
to,
Elvis?
It was... I don't know, Hollick, but so the phrasing was Aurora wanted you to go to the object in the swamp that was causing problems and return it to her for passage to the north, and remove it for a much, basically, if you wanted a much smaller consideration, you could remove it, but she wanted it returned to her for passage.
I've got it, guys. The person causing problems was the Gorgon. We returned the Gorgon to
The Gorgon evaporated after she was killed.
But we have still the mask of the Gorgon as proof that she's now gone.
Grantos has a mask, yes.
Yeah, traitor amongst the midst. That might alter the deal.
It'd be worth a try.
Or even better yet, we could blame the Gorgon. It stole the spearhead from us and is nowhere to be seen now.
That would.
We should tell the truth.
I was gonna say.
Yep, I don't. No deception.
You would know that just because the spear was stolen from you, it would not be a. You'd be like, okay, go get it. Sorry. Continue. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yep, let's trade the mask. You guys go all the way here and keep the back door open.
Yeah. Let's go back into Fae. Let's meet them again. Trade the mask and see from there. And
Gruntos awkwardly balances the mask on his snout.
Have you tried to attune to it yet?
Nope.
Okay, so it awkwardly balances on your snout.
Yep.
And
it's quite big as well for me.
Yes, that is a true statement.
and we can tell them the item is safe and will not return into the Fae.
Why? I think we should neglect saying anything about the spearhead, period. Just tell him we killed the traitor that was causing him problems, and here's the item that the traitor had. Give him the...
No, but he knows there is a item in the swamp. So that item, we don't have to disclose anything about what the item is. That item is out of the Feywild. That's it.
Okay.
I don't know. I still think we go full politician. Even if we know, we don't say we know. We don't know that cigarettes cause cancer or anything like that. We just know that there's a problem. Here's the item.
All right. Let me know. I guess when I'll let you guys debate for as long as you want. But let me know when you actually head back into the Feywild.
Oh, I'm okay with the current debate.
I'm with the Ted on this one.
All right.
Gruntos is just absentmindedly trying to balance the mask. Looking silly doing it.
You managed to catch it before it hits the floor.
All right, Grunty, let's roll.
What? Roll? Well! I do not roll, I walk.
Is the just a question about the fairy ring? It's on the ground. When we step in it, do we portal? Or we have to step in and wait for Borghild to do something.
You step in it and say a phrase, and you pass it. Then you pass through. And
Do you have to be touching the ground or just over the ring?
Just inside the circle of the ring. You don't actually have to be physically on the ground. But all of you has to be inside of the diameter of the ring.
All right, I guess I step in the ring.
Put the mask in the backpack and step in the ring.
Yep.
Me too.
Right. You guys pass through once again. You are greeted with the same scene. Arrayed ahead of you is a vast open plain, and behind you is a vast open nothingness. The nothingness is, again, unsettling to look at. But if you keep your eyes forward, you don't have any problems.
Well, down the same road, I guess.
I really want to tie a rope around Gunthros and throw him out there, just see what happens. Not gonna do it. Just thinking that.
You guys walk for a while, and then you walk some more, and then you walk some more, and you get thirsty, and if you have anything to drink, you may drink, and you get hungry, and if you have anything to eat, you may eat, and eventually you come to a crossroads. To your left is the direction of the swamp. To your right is the home of Aurora.
I'm gonna look at the other guys, see if they say anything, and then head right.
Head right.
Okay.
Yep.
Ooh, okay. You guys head, and it's strange. This road seems much longer than you remember. Than you remember it being from the last time you were here, but you feel like you're making progress. It's kind of a twilight. It's not you can't see the sun in the sky. The sky is kind of an even blue color, but it seems like twilight. Like that time of day where the sun has not quite set below the horizon, but it's definitely on its way there. And you feel like you've been walking for, I don't know, 2 or 3 or more hours at this point, and just rising over the horizon, you see the little hut that Aurora called her home, and about the time you see it rising up over the horizon, you are standing at its front door. And it's not like it rushed there. It's just like you took 2 steps and blinked, and well, this is the house.
That's kind of like driving across Wyoming.
Yeah, that's actually fairly accurate.
Any guards out?
There do not appear to be. And the front door is unlocked.
Let's knock.
Frontos goes up. Funk, funk, funk.
The door opens inward with that kind of perfect creak. If a door could creak in a perfect way for a door to creak, this would be that creak. And it sits open before you.
And that's the hallway again with the table and fruits and stuff like that.
This time it is just a empty room, probably 10 or 15 feet by 10 or probably 15 feet by 15 feet. There's nothing in the room except for a door on the far side.
I start listening for stuff. Anything.
Perception? Holy crap. You are absolutely sure, 100%, that you do not hear anything other than just the slight rustle of the grass in the breeze that you can't feel outside of this room. There's no bird song or insects or anything that you would expect. No running water, just slight
rustling
rustle.
in grass and nothing.
Yes. And if you look at the grass, you kind of see that kind of slow waves that you expect to see in grass. It's in a breeze, but you don't feel a breeze.
Yeah.
This is not how we left the place.
Really creepy here, guys.
No one here. I have no one.
This is like House on a Haunted Hill. Let's stay the night. See what happens in the morning.
If you don't already have inspiration, take it.
I want to investigate the room if I can.
Give me an investigate. You are fairly certain that the room that's inside the house is somehow illusory, but you don't see you are familiar enough with magic that you know that if you see through an illusion, you can see what is real behind the illusion. What you see behind the illusion of this room is that this room is somehow illusory. You can't see the truth of this situation, as if there is no truth of this room to be had.
Yeah, but it's still bigger on the inside than on the outside.
This room is smaller than the front of the house. But you think that if this room, by the size of the house, this room would be the only room, and there would be some very thick walls.
Okay. What's the rest of the party doing? Coming in or staying out?
Gruntos is on edge. Pull out. Arrow knock, ready, but going in.
And there was one door left, right? On the far end.
Yep, there's one door on the other end of this room.
I'll go to that door.
How are you interacting with the door, I guess I should say, rather than just giving away? Knocking on it, trying the handle, staring at it longfully.
Well, I think I will search. I don't trust the situation. It's different than the first time we were here. So I will look at the door first for traps or stuff like that.
Okay.
I'm a little bit scared.
Go ahead and give me your whatever that roll that would be. Investigate, I think. I don't know if there's a find traps in 5th edition.
If I cast Detect Magic, would it do it?
Well, try it out. That's all I can tell you without you trying it out.
I'll wait for that first.
Okay. You are... Give me a reflex save, Satet.
Dexterity saving throw.
Yep, dexterity saving throw. You are temporarily blinded by the brightness of the illusion magic that you are seeing right now. You're your eyes are watering. If you ever had you're in a very dark room and somebody does a camera flash directly into your eyes, and you kind of see that after image of the flash. Think about that covering the entirety of your vision. Your eyes are watering. Your eyes are closed. It's not really painful, but it was incredibly intense. And you can even still, once your vision's you hold your eyes closed long enough, your vision starts returning. You can see the intensity of the magic in this room through your eyelids.
Guys, I have a really bad migraine. I'm getting flashes of light and stuff. I think this whole room is just nothing but magic. Strong. And then I'm going to step out of the house.
Okay. Do you still have Detect Magic up?
No, actually, I guess once I move, the concentration's up. So
Nope.
No, you can move without losing concentration.
Okay, then yes, I will. I mean, as soon as I can hold it with the bright flash, then yeah, I would have left it going.
Yep. You still have your concentration to hold the magic up. if you look at anything except for the house itself, you sorry about that. You see kind of like a background glow of magic that you're not really familiar with. Just kind of seeping out of, or just kind of an even, like, everything looks magical here. But it's not like real intense. It's just kind of the ground you're standing on is magical, and the air you're seeing is magical, and the grass you're seeing is magical. School would be probably conjuration and illusion. Both of those are kind of happening. The house itself is, like, if you try to look at it, it's blinding. It's just incredibly bright. It is, again, illusion magic. You've never seen magic this intense. Even your spear, which is, is a fairly powerful artifact, is not as intense as this. Although, if you look past your spear at the magic around you, you see kind of a gap where your spear is, kind of like your spear is sucking the magic out of the air and leaving, if you turn off your magical vision, you kind of see just a wispy, kind of distorted gap where your spear has been, kind of a almost smoke-like, but not like rising from a flame, just kind of foggy surrounding your spear.
Okay.
Like hot air on asphalt.
I'm going to gently touch the tip of my spear against the building.
Okay. Give me... Sorry, I had to...
Feel free to say no.
No, you can do it. You feel an intense heat through the haft of your spear. And you start seeing the tip of it go kind of that real dull cherry red. And then it just starts slowly heating up, and you can feel the heat off of the tip of the spear. And I would like everybody within 30 feet of Satet to make a reflex save, please. Dexterity.
Where was he when he did this?
Just outside the door of the house.
Well, I'm inside. I'm not sure if I'm in range or not.
If the door is closed, then you are not. If the door is open, then you are. I don't know.
I would not have shut the door. I probably would have just went right out.
Okay, so
I need to make a dexterity save?
Yep, it needs to be a 10. And Satet, you do not need to make this save. So Horgold and Horgold and Hollock make it. You guys kind of jump a little bit behind something, like kind of behind where the door was. And you are not damaged. Grunthos, take 1 point of flame damage, please. Or fire damage.
Yep.
And the tip of the spear goes out, like it's no longer glowing, Satet. And you understand how to turn on and off a 30-foot radius zone of fire. That does, if any creature that is inside of this zone of fire at the end of their turn takes 1d6 fire damage.
Is that just from the spot or from the spear?
From the spear.
Sweet. And
you see a little, like, chip or or pit in the wall of the house that quickly, as you pulled the spear away, upon hearing Grunthos go, "Ow!" You see it kind of heal itself over and return to what it looked like before.
Whoa, guys, you should check this out.
I'll message him with the spell. What the fuck was that?
Well, it looked like my spear was eating magic or something, so I thought, hey, I'll just touch the building since it's a very strong magic. And I'm not really sure what happened to you guys, but it made a little chunk in the house, like it was broken apart, but then it.
At this point, you see Grunthos coming out the smoking tail.
Just
Okay,
the tip of
What
the
do
tail.
you do?
Does your tail regenerate?
It's not gone. It's just singed, and the tip is smoking, kind of like Tom and Jerry cartoons.
Do you guys smell bacon?
What you do?
I was out here. What did you do?
What was the length of the room?
15 feet.
I will stand in the doorway then, going outside, and I will use Mage Hand to knock on the door or try to open.
You knock on the door, or do you try to open it?
First knock.
As your mage hand knocks on the door again creaks open in that kind of perfect creak sound, and your mage hand is not dismissed, dispelled.
It would have been hilarious if it was allowed in, then the door shut.
No, you got like knock, and then the mage hand is dispelled, but the door slowly swings open. And you now can see into the room on the other side. It looks exactly like the throne room that you saw before.
Any sign of life?
The room is large enough that you really can't see from here. It's a little hazy in there. Like, not like super hazy, but just kind of hard to make out.
So, group, do we go in or do we stay out? Cowardly.
Do we stay or do we go now?
Hello?
What language?
Hello?
You hear back in Giant? Hello and welcome. Those of you who speak Giant, if anybody.
People inside. Big Giant. We go in?
Is it the sky giant again, buddy?
It sounds like the Cloud Giant you guys met before, yes.
Big guy. Growl.
Do you say growl or do you actually growl?
He you know the guttural growls that cats make when they're very unhappy but they're not exactly attacking yet?
Yes.
One of those comes from Grunthos.
Gotcha. All right.
I start to snort and snicker a little bit.
We go in or we stay out? Grunthos says, holding his bow with arrow knocked.
Calm down. We're not here to start a fight, Gruntho.
Give me a perception check. Everybody.
Man, my rolls are terrible today.
That's made up by everybody else's, apparently. Satet, you don't notice immediately. Grunthos and Hollock, you notice as you're standing there, talking, that the doors size themselves so that they can just shoot past you, and all of you are now standing in the throne room. Grunthos and Hollock, if you can try to run, you are allowed to run. Satet, you don't notice until too late that this is happening.
I run behind Satet.
Oh, did the giant scare ya?
Ever brave.
No, tactical. Satet is covered.
I'm going to reach down to pat him on the head again.
You hear from the back of the room the giant say, "He is concealment at best." I did say welcome. Come in.
I'm going to go ahead and step forward.
Right. The distance to Aurora's throne is just a mere couple of steps, despite the fact that it looks like it's hundreds of feet. And you find yourself standing before Aurora, who is... Everything in the world reminds you of a cat lounging along in sunlight. Just, she is laying over the arm of her throne, looking at you like she's contemplating whether or not these mice are worth chasing. But this spot in the sun is extra warm and comfortable.
Lady Aurora, we have returned from the swamp, and we found what was causing you issues. It was your traitor, and we have brought back the item the traitor had. Grunthos, hand her the mask.
Starts digging in his pack and big ass mask held up. For him at least.
Oh, really? Give me a deception roll, please. Ooh, that's actually pretty good. I can't roll for crap. Okay. So you say that my servant's mask was the thing in the swamp that was causing me trouble.
It was part of it. Your servant and her friends or accomplices were helping it.
And may tell where are my servant and her accomplices?
It was unfortunate that they perished in the struggle. On the other hand, their music will live on in all our hearts.
She gives you a smirk, and just kind of waves her hand, and Grunthos, the mask starts trying to float away from your hand. Do you hold on to it, or do you let it go?
I'm almost curious to see what would happen if he held on. But yeah, let's go.
It floats over to Aurora, and she looks it over, and says, well, this is an interesting turn of events. I owe you one passage to the place that you seek to go. And we shall work with your... You said you had a patron who wished to go there?
Yes. What time or what arrangement should we make? Do we need to go back and let her know? Is there a time of which you will let this happen?
She has 1 year and 1 day by your reckoning to return to this place and seek passage. After that time, I can no longer guarantee her safety.
Very well. We thank you for your generosity.
She kind of makes a disgusted sound and throws the mask away from her. It you like, she didn't look like she was that strong, but the mask flies across the room and shatters into 1,000 pieces on the far wall. You can kind of hear it crack and fall to pieces.
I take it by that we don't want to hug it out before we go. Okay. I'm just going to turn around and leave.
She grins at you and says, "Can I give you anything else?"
No, thank you. We shall, by your leave, head back.
She kind of makes a motion to you and allows you to leave.
Gentlemen, would you like to go with me?
Gruntos backs up, eyeing the giant.
The giant is kind of looking at you amusedly. He seems unimpressed by what has been going on.
Yep. Still eyeing him until I can't see him anymore. Not turning my back on that guy.
Hollick, as you go to step out of the room, the door is open before you, but you find yourself unable to pass through it.
Curious.
I do believe there is the small matter of a piece of fruit that you ate.
Oh, yes.
She closes the door in your face, and the other three are locked outside of the room. With you on the other side. You find the distance to her throne. You find her standing over your left shoulder. She's as far as you can tell, she is the tallest elf you have ever met. She appears to be taller than you expected from when you saw her on your throne. And she says to you, "It's a small matter of service to make up for that which you have taken from me. I think perhaps a year would be good."
A year? Of what?
Of service to my house. But do not worry. You can give your time to me after you have passed.
A year of service for a simple apple.
It was the best apple you have ever tasted, though, isn't it?
Still, I think it's a bit much.
Then perhaps one single truthful answer given to me. And give me a will save, Hollick. Horgold, you can try.
Will save is wisdom or?
Yes, wisdom. Okay. So, you feel compelled to either one of two things. Either give her a single truthful answer, or give her 1 year of service after you have died.
This can go bad either way. How exactly can I serve you when I'm dead?
Well, instead of going to the hall of whatever deity you most match the ideals of to be judged, you instead come before me to help me. It is only a year. Not that much in a life. Give me an intelligence roll. Nope, that's not good enough. It's only a year.
But time works differently here.
She has the expression on her face of a cat who has the mouse in her claws and is contemplating what to do with it now. Horgold, if you have tried to use the message spell, you find that it has failed.
Okay.
And you are presented when the door closed on you, that door no longer exists behind you.
I will just go outside the building then, I guess.
Gentlemen, we have lost one of our own today. Holocaust, we will always love you. Let's go, guys.
No, I think I will try to scout around to see.
I'm looking for the door.
You are not
Where it
finding a
isn't.
door. The as you scout around, Horgold, you find that this building is, by all appearances, about 20 feet on a side. Very simple cottage-like structure. No doors in the back. The windows look into rooms that you guys did not see before. If you look through the windows of the house, it looks like a cottage. Like a single room, kitchen, and a bedroom.
So, can we specify the year as a human year? And the cause of death must be natural? So you just don't kill me right now to get the year?
The cause of death does not have to be natural, but it cannot be at my hand. Or the hand of
Or
any
the
of
servants.
my servants.
And it's a human year.
It is a year by my reckoning.
So it could be eternity for me.
But you are already dead, so it will not be the rest of your eternity. Unless, of course, you decide that you like working for me and you want to stay on rather than going off to the afterlife. I could make you my knight.
It's a very difficult decision. Very difficult. But I think if you throw in another apple, I will take the year.
You'll take the year, you said?
Yes, under the condition we just come together with.
She kind of makes a rotating motion with her hand, and it hands you another apple. It says, "Well be it. A year upon your death."
I make a slight bow, take the apple.
The door opens before you, and you are free to leave.
Then I leave.
Grunthos, as you're looking around trying to figure out where the door was, you find Hollock Hall beside you, and the door never was not where you thought it was the first time. And you see through the slowly closing door, Aurora swaying, sashaying her way back to her throne in the distance.
What? Oh. Can never get used to this place. Head hurts. We go home. Proto starts marching off. He wants to go home.
What happened, Hollock?
I just sold my soul.
Hollock, add to your sheet the cantrip from the Warlock class. Shoot, what is it called? Warlock. That is not... There we go.
That'd be a cool cantrip name, though. Warlock.
You have the cantrip Eldritch Blast that you may cast up to 1d4 times per day.
Eldritch Blast.
Yep.
Okay.
So every morning or before you cast the first time, roll a d4 to see how many times you may cast it. You also have, if you want to take it, you also have the Warlock class with the Pact of the Fae open to you.
I won't lie, dude. You got a pretty sweet deal. You're basically immortal now.
Yep.
Where do I add this?
Just write it down for now.
Yeah, okay.
And you also have a lovely apple that smells wonderful.
There's no harm in eating an apple, right?
Oh, and you feel fine. Like you no longer are sick.
That's good. And I eat the apple.
It is delicious. It is every bit the best apple you have ever eaten, just like the first apple you ate was every bit the best apple you have ever eaten. It is tart and sweet and snaps that lovely apple snap whenever you take a bite from it. You kind of hear in the back of your head a lilting chuckle. And you guys, as you walk, you find the path back to your... you find the path back to the fairy ring to be a much shorter walk than you remember from the last time you were here.
That's
Like
always good.
4 hours walking in, 10 minutes walking out.
Yes, exactly.
That's always the case when I'm going anywhere by car. It takes forever to go out, and on the way home, wow, am I home already? Oh, Dorontos lines up in the circle.
Yeah, I'll do the same.
All right. As you guys step through the circle, you see Borghild sitting on the far side of the cave. She is glowing slightly. You're not exactly sure what's going on. She seems to be meditating.
I want to see if I can figure out what the deal is.
Okay.
Arcana to see if he's a magical type of beast or thing.
Yes, give me Arcana. Oh, what did you... Who did you... How... Never mind.
I'm just as flabbergasted as you.
He bribed the D20. He did something. Okay. She is... You call hacks. Apparently. She is, by every outward appearance, a human. But you can, like, sense magic from her. Like, she is more than just human. With an 18, you are getting senses of several schools of magic, but unless you cast detect magic, you don't know specifically what they are.
She might look human, but she isn't. That's good enough for me.
Okay, yeah, she's not human. She appears human. The only distinguishing features that you can see, other than how a human looks, is she has a eye patch over her left eye, and she's generally a different skin tone than the local. She has kind of an olive skin tone, but that's moderately common here. A lot of the boats think southern Mediterranean sort of skin tone, but a lot of boats have crews that look basically like her.
Yeah.
You're fairly sure she's not a wizard.
Yeah.
And you're moderately sure she's not a sorcerer. But you're also sure you also think she's probably not a cleric.
Mm-hmm.
She's somehow magical, though.
Yeah. So she doesn't look like she's either warlock, cleric, wizard, sorcerer, paladin, ranger, anything that can usually cast spells, but she is very magical.
Yes.
Okay.
You guys going to wake her up from her reverie, or are you just gonna leave?
I'm gonna try to sneak over to.
Right.
got curious about the eye patch.
Give me a sneak roll, please. Okay.
Base roll of 14 plus 4.
Does anybody stop Grunthos?
Yeah, I'm gonna reach out and try to grab his shoulder.
Do you let yourself be stopped?
No.
All right.
Never wake a sleeping lady.
As you say that, Satet, Grunthos, the hand that was reaching out for the eye patch, is encircled by a grip that is as strong as any manacles you have ever felt around your arm. And you see Borghill's hand holding yours, and her good eye is slowly opening and is looking around the room.
Yep.
So, do you have news? Grunthos, your position you're standing in is starting to get a little bit uncomfortable because her arm and her hand haven't moved, and you're kind of doing that whole kind of reaching out.
I step into the reach, so as I'm not overextended anymore.
Okay. You're very short, so it's probably about right. If you were a human in height, you think you would almost have to be like kneeling down to be in close enough position to do that. But you're short, so you can comfortably be standing there. Your hand is probably 2 inches away from her eye patch, and she is looking at the rest of you like completely she hasn't acknowledged that Grunthos is there at all.
Hey, we're back.
I have gathered. You have been gone 3 days.
That might be why I'm so hungry.
Mayhap. To the Snorting Boar for food and a story.
Yes, we should all go. Will you let Grunthos go, or pick him up at least?
she kind of looks over at Grunthos and give me a reflex or a dexterity save, please, Grunthos. Yeah, no, that's plenty. She kind of gives you a little shove, but you manage to make it look like nothing happened, and she stands up. She stands up and picks up a small satchel and heads towards the front of the cave.
While we're walking, I want to talk with Borhild.
Okay, she seems perfectly willing to do that.
So yeah, we might be able to grant you safe passage.
Ah, good. Details are important.
Yeah, indeed, and they want details as well.
Ah, yes, that is unsurprising.
So, can you fill us in so we can convey those details?
Yes, I will know when I have arrived. The fastest passage is through the Feywild. I am fairly certain that it is the way out is still within Aurora's lands, because she can only offer safe passage through her lands. If we have to go through another's land to get there, we may have to work another deal out, but we won't know until we get closer.
Closer to what?
Closer to where I need to be. Closer to removing my curse.
Is your curse that you're sticky?
She kind of looks at you sticky.
Well, Grunthos seemed to stick to you.
She kind of snorts and says, "No. My curse is that I cannot have children."
Have you met Grunthos? You sure you want some?
Grunthos he's no longer a child, even if he appears childlike sometimes. But no, I want children of my own. And I need to be in a place with some people who can help to enable that to happen.
You not human. What are you?
I'm human enough. I was born of humans.
Who put the curse on you?
She thinks for a while. And just she looks like she's trying to figure out how to explain it. Some people who were afraid of what my children might become and afraid of who I was. Much like you, they were wanderers.
Well, the next question seems obvious. Why were people afraid?
That I don't know that I can tell you. I cannot control the fear inside another's heart. I can only long for the children I have never been able to have. But we are at our inn. By the way, guys, it is now evening of the 18th of Citrine, actually. Okay. And she opens the door. The place is humming about what you expect for this time of day. It is, you smell roast pig in the back of the room. Looks like they have slow, long cooked pork over the fire. They're hacking chunks off of for people who order food. And Grunthos, as you come into the room, the barkeep looks at you and says, "Where you been?"
Out, about, having fun.
He slaps a small tankard on the counter for you.
Small or human-sized?
Small.
I glare back. No words, just the.
After a few moments of glaring, he pours that tankard into a full-size tankard and puts it down on the bar.
Nice smile. Grab it and go to the table.
Borghild has gotten to the table, and as a barmaid comes by, she orders enough food for everybody. So, details, I believe. The details of what you promised are very important. Or what you were promised are very important.
We've gotten you safe passage for 1 year through the wildlands, but then it expires.
1 year. That gives me time. To Did she say a year and what reckoning?
I believe it was by our reckoning, but I believe you may only have one time that you can pass through. You can't just go back and.
Very well. Did she offer assistance in finding our way, or did she just offer passage?
Just passage.
It will be a challenge to find our correct way, and if we stay in the Feywild too long, then the year will be up and it will no longer be safe.
You didn't ask for directions. You asked for passage.
True. No, that is my fault for giving you incomplete instructions. I have only dealt tangentially with the Fae. I only know that it is important to understand their words specifically. I should have given you more instructions. That is my fault.
If it helps any, I don't think they would have allowed that anyway.
Fair. What did you have to give up?
We took out one of our traitorous people.
It's an interesting trade.
I've been turned to stone.
Fair. Very well. Meet me at the turn of the month. I will prepare what we shall need for passage, and I will give you your next payment.
Is there anything we should be getting to prepare ourselves?
You have been in the Fae, perhaps even more than I. Or you have been in the Fae even more than I. You may know better what you need for a even year-long passage.
Hold on. I think the contract was for one person passage.
Interesting. Did she say that my retainers would be allowed to pass with me, or did she say just for me?
Well, we were asking just for you, not for a group.
That could become a problem.
Well, that's your problem. Have fun.
You do not wish to remain on my retainer?
I just don't wish to cross.
At this point, Gruntos comes up from his beer. Feywild bad, me not like. Me not want to travel yet.
You should make your instructions clear before we make a deal for you. You asked for passage, and we arrange passage for you.
She nods her head. Yes, you are correct. If you do not wish to come with me, that is your wish. I will be leaving. I'll be leaving on the 1st of next month. If you do wish to come with me, please let me know, and you may come along. If you do not wish to come with me, then let me know as soon as you can, so I might find another group to help me along.
We'll have to discuss this, and I'm sure each of us may have to make our own choice.
Mayhap. But please enjoy the food, and I will see you soon, I hope. And she
Payment?
stands up. What's that?
Payment?
If you, I have already paid you for this month. I will pay you for next if you continue your employ under me.
Oh,
She pays for the food.
month before you go.
She pays for the food. She bows and she heads out.
So, you guys want to drink on this for a while? Or...
We can drink and discuss.
The barkeep is happy to keep you in beer or wine or whatever you would like to drink.
At the
If I could
bottom
get
of the
a-
beer, Gruntos gets another.
I would like a crisp apple cider. I'm going to hold the bottle up, show Hollick, and then take a swig.
The barkeep is able to find you an apple cider. It is the hardest non-whiskey drink you have ever had. You think you kind of got the translation for cider not exactly right into Orc, and you ended up with Applejack. Ooh.
Gentlemen, I don't know how good of an idea this is, but I'm always up for new places to spread the word of right.
Well, I'm always up for an adventure and making good money, but we discussed passage for one, so we might be ending up in trouble when we get back to the...
Yeah, I have concerns. We can't spend money if we aren't alive to have it. And while I don't personally care about money, I feel like being dead is a big issue.
Oh, so give me some.
I already spent all my money to revive you.
All right. The night passes. You guys all head after your discussions. You all head back to your places of where you sleep. Hollock. On the way back to your house, you pass by the shining fang money changer, and you hear something from inside. Would you guys have left in a group, or would you have left individually? I want to know if anybody else would be here.
Well, I doubt the temple is the same direction, so I'm probably off on my own.
Probably not in the same direction, yes.
Runtos stays at the Snorting Boar when he's in town, so...
Okay.
I'll probably stay when it's, well, not closing time, but late.
Right. Yeah. Horgold, your house is like here. You're one of the few non-orcs to live in that part of town. The Snorting Boar is here, and Hollock, your house is somewhere around there. So you two could conceivably head off in the same direction, at least for a while. It's not critical. I just want to know, is Hollock alone, or does he have anybody with him? It's all I'm asking for.
Probably he's helping me, maybe getting home.
All right. So the pair of you walk past the gleaming, or the gleaming tusk money changer, and you notice the sound of crying, like grief crying from inside.
I look to Horgold and ask him, want to investigate?
Yeah, they got my money.
All right. When you approach the door, the sound is a little louder, and two guards leave the place. They both look sad, I guess, not like distraught, but they look like they had to give bad news to somebody. And Hollick, you recognize one of them as one of the guards who was at the murder scene before, and they kind of move past you on their way out.
Is the door still open to the shop?
They closed the door behind them. Kind of the crying kind of, you know, when you are alone in your grief, and you kind of that moment you're alone, you just can't hold it any longer. That sort of crying, that intensity kind of picks up that amount. And you, yeah.
I knock on the...
Okay, the guards head up the street towards the upper end of town. When you knock on the door, you kind of hear a person kind of gather themselves, sniffling a little bit, and the door opens a little bit, and you see a red-eyed orc kind of peering out at you. He has the expression of what do you want, but isn't like slamming the door in your face. He's like, yes.
Good evening. We managed to hear your troubles and saw the guards. Anything we can help?
He gives a heavy sigh and says, unless you can bring my daughter back, no, you cannot. I am sorry that I have disturbed your evening.
Oh no, not at all. What happened to your daughter, if I may ask?
She was found in the other. She was found in the upper part of town, murdered. Or no, she was found. See, it was, yeah, it was. She was found. She was found a few blocks from here, murdered. She was running an errand for me, and the guards found her, and they apparently she was injured enough that it took them a while to figure out who she was. So I have been worried for days. She has been missing. So if you don't, he's kind of trying to, like, I find myself doing it too. He's trying to kind of fighting the emotion right now. He's like, if there's nothing else, I would like to be alone with her body. You guys can kind of see past him. There is a body on the floor of his shop, wrapped in like clean linens, all wrapped up tightly. Hollick, it is the right size for the person you saw. The other day. It matches.
Oh, my condolences. Have a nice evening.
Thank you. Charming Horgold, okay. Wisdom saving throw. Okay.
I don't know what my DC is.
Save is 13. He succeeds.
Oh, okay.
So you attempted to charm him, and it's like he is. It just kind of washes over him, and you can see that it doesn't catch. He is too distraught to even notice that you tried to charm him. And he.
I will still ask the question. Like, what kind of errand was she on?
She was. She had. She had. She was visiting other. She was visiting other money changers. So that I could make liquid some things of value that I needed. But I don't know why a robber would rip her head off to steal something from her. Doesn't make any sense. And he closes the door in your face. And
okay.
And you don't hear the crying again, or unless you like put your head to the door. If you do like listen that closely, you can hear him. He's at this point, crying softly, but he is a father weeping for the loss of his child, as from every outside appearance. What was the intelligence roll for, Harold?
Oh, for if I could make the game or not.
Possibly Holic. Then you guys head home. Do you try to catch up with the guards, or do you just let them go?
I just go home and have bad news tomorrow for the group, I think. Well, my character thinks.
Right. And I think on that sad note, we shall call it a day. So, thank you everybody for listening in, for watching. Sorry that I didn't have the camera working. I don't know what's wrong with Roll20, but whatever. Thank you to all my players for joining me. It's been great fun having you. We will be back again next weekend. I will endeavor to get this video up before then. I'm horrible at that. So if you've been watching on YouTube, thank you for watching. If you are watching on Twitch, thank you for hanging out. If anybody has any questions, feel free to join my Discord and come in and ask if you want to chat and hang out. Thanks everybody for watching. Bye.